All right. So this is one of my personal favorite topics, only because personal. Kasi personal. It's something that I've had to really get over, and getting over it. I think I think I prefer the word getting through it. Kasi the fears again. I think I mentioned this in another video. Fears aren't always hindi siya nawawala. It's always there, but the real issue is not getting rid of it, but getting through it. No. So one of the big fears I really work on getting through is the fear of judgment. And I'll be honest, even up until now, that fear still trickles in. So it's always a constant effort. So that's good. It's the first thing I want to share with you. Getting over the fear of judgment won't ever be gone, in my opinion. It will always be there. But it's always a conscious effort to really break through it. Sometimes hindi na nga siya conscious effort. And hopefully some of the stuff I'll say today will help you get to that place wherein you do acknowledge that there is fear of judgment, but you still choose to move past it anyway. No. And a bit of heads up lang, na medyo shameless plug. What I'm about to share is the same thing I shared with a podcast of mine. So if you didn't know, I have a podcast. It's called Breakthrough, where similar things that we talk about in this series, I mentioned there. Actually, a lot. No, I mentioned it there then. It's really meant to help people break through and create a nation of dreamers. That's my dream. To help people allow themselves to dream bigger. Okay? So if you are subscribed to that podcast already, this particular video will be familiar. And in one episode kasi, I just listed down random thoughts that might help you move past this fear. No. So I'll get straight to them. No. Number one, always remember that everyone judges. No. It's just what we do. No? If you look back on your day at whatever point you're watching this now, think honestly, how many people have you judged? No, like today, I woke up, then had breakfast, sinatid ko yung wife ko. So, when I was driving, may mga nagka-cut sa akin, ginudge ko na sila na parang bastos naman ito, or parang may makita akong basura, sabi ko, ang coops naman ng mga taong nag-litter, ganyan. Diba? So throughout our day, automatic sa atin, nag-judge sa atin. So it's just what we do. You're watching me now, whether or not you're aware of it or now, but you're judging me. You're judging me whether tama yung sinasabi ko. Kanina ko pa pinapansin yung nose ko kung merong sipon kasi medyo sinisipan ako ngayon. You may or may not be judging me about it. Diba? And even when we fear that people are judging us, we're actually judging them. Diba? Na parang let's say, kanta ako, and then nakating sa akin yung mga tao. It's parang in my mind, shit, these people are judging me. In that instance, I'm judging them then. Diba? Ginajudge ko sila, na ginajudge nila ako. So, the fear of judgment, parang judgment will always be there. Diba? Judgment will always be there. No? So, medyo walang point yung idea na gagawin ko lang to. I'll put myself out there. I'll run ads when I'm in a space that people won't judge me na. No? So people will always judge. So the question is whether you choose to push through with your campaigns or not. No? And in line with that, the second thing I want to share is usually kasi when we fear judgment, the more correct term for it is that we fear bad judgment. We fear that people will think na hindi tayo magaling. We'll fear that people will think na let's yung business natin. Parang especially online, di ba? Ads ka back, may mga bashers na parang, hindi naman legit yung business na yan. Or baka magtanong sila. Ako dati, takot ako mag-workshop, mag-webinar. Sabi ko, baka, what if may itanong sila sa akin na hindi ko masagot? Diba? So the answer to that, like, now is sabihin ko, hindi ko alam. Di ba? Whether they judge me for that or not is not issue na nila yan. Di ba? So you can be judged for good or for bad, di ba? So merong isang nakakatawa, parang merong isang video na parang this whole parang there was an issue with Google. They were asked to go to the US Senate. Parang sinasabi, parang biased kayo na pag may maglagay ng Donald Trump search results, merong maglalagay ng mga fake news or mga images na hindi okay si Donald Trump, ganyan. Tapos one of the senators, sabi niya, guys, let me explain to you how this works. Now, when someone searches your name, whatever you contributed to the world, yun yung lalabas. So if you want search results na lumabas sa pangalan mo, then do good things. Diba? If you want people to judge you as a good person, as an expert, if you want people to judge your business as something that's legitimate, then be legitimate, di ba? You won't be afraid of judgment naman kung parang baka sabihin mo tao hindi ako legit eh. Well, legit ka nga ba? Kung alam mo naman na oo, di ba? Kung alam mo naman that you have a service that is great, then why not put it out there and let people judge for themselves? Di ba? Okay. Here's the one thought that really changed how I approach things. Because we're always afraid that people will judge us for what we do. Now, when I do a Facebook Live, or when I say na I'm a Facebook ads expert, or when I go as far as saying I'm the #1 Facebook ads expert in the Philippines, the people will judge me. Either, yeah, ang galing mo, or ang yabang mo, or nee, faker ka, ganyan. So, the fear usually is always when you put yourself out there, you're fearing that people will judge you. But what we sometimes fail to remember, or what we forget, is that when we choose naman to do nothing, na stay quiet here, hindi ko panggamayabang na expert ako, na magaling ako, hindi ko panggamayabang yung business ko, then people are still judging us. Again, di ba? People judge. That's normal. We judge ourselves. So parang, even if we do nothing, people are still judging us. So for me, what allowed me talaga to really put myself out there was the idea na, okay, whatever I do or don't do, people are judging me. So I might as well be judged for doing something awesome. I might as well be judged for doing something kahit hindi awesome. I might as well be judged for doing something than to be judged by not doing anything at all. So that's something that's very personal to me then, no? And that really allowed me to do all the things that I want to do, na parang regardless of what people will judge me for. Kasi kahit naman wala akong ginawa and just stayed quiet, people are judging me. Alright? Okay. Next. Like for me, when I put myself out there, yes, may fear judgment, but it's also recognizing that judgment can be in the form of feedback. Diba? For example, I put myself out there, go on Facebook Live, talk about something, and then someone tells me na, Julian, ang bilis mo magsalita, hindi ko maintindihan yung words mo. Yes, I can take that as, shucks, sige, baka hindi pala ako pwede mag-speaker kasi hindi ako magaling magsalita. Or, I can take that judgment as, okay, sige, thank you for that feedback. Siguro I'll be more mindful when I talk. When I talk, para mas clear yung diction, ganyan. Kasi I don't hear myself talk naman, diba? So parang hindi ko naririnig. But if I put myself out there, allow myself to be open enough to be judged, and I can take that judgment as criticism, diba? Okay, so this is another thing that allowed me talaga to break free of yung fear of judgment. And it's the idea that when people judge you, it's never a reflection of who you are. It's always a reflection of the person judging. Diba? For example, if sabihin ko na banu ka mag-basketball, diba? Regardless sa skill level mo, it will only be because of my own version of ano ba dapat yung magaling mag-basketball. Diba? Like, on a personal note, like for me, before I used to, parang naiinis ako sa mga mayayabang na tao. Or at least who I believe to be mayabang. Yung mga puts themselves out there, na parang very straightforward. And it took me a while to recognize na kaya ako naiinis sa mga yan was because I grew up believing na masama maging mayabang. Diba? But when these people are using their platform to be straightforward and tell people truths that they need to hear that will help them better their lives, then there's nothing wrong with that. Diba? If these people are just being who they are, There's nothing wrong with that. But I grew up and I held on to the belief na masama maging mayabang. So, that idea of being mayabang, wala silang problema. Ako yung may problema. Sino ba yung nasa-stress? Diba? Ako yung nasa-stress, ako yung naiinis. But they're just being who they are. Diba? A good friend, si John Pagulayan, gave me this example before. Na imagine, I don't know kung may color yung hair mo. Pero let's say na ako, someone tells me, Julian, ang pangit ng green hair mo. What do you think I would feel? Diba? Sabi niya, Julian, literal, sobrang pangit ng green hair mo. Diba? I wouldn't feel anything or offended kasi alam kong wala naman akong green hair. So kung ano man yun, whatever this person is stressing out about, issue niya yan. Diba? So think about that, na parang when you run an ad and then someone said scammer or faker or let's yan. Think about how you're reacting to that. Kasi when someone calls you a scammer, for example, and then you start to feel defensive. And you want to parang sumang-awayin. I've argued with a few trolls myself, which I no longer do. Pag sinabi niyang scammer ka, kung na-stress ka, then isipin mo, is there a part of me that actually feels na baka scammer ako? Kasi kung hindi naman, if you feel that you're putting value, you're running ads for a business that is very legitimate and is helping people, even if people start calling you scammer, diba? It's okay. I mean, you wouldn't really get affected kasi alam mo naman na it's just a reflection of that own person's personality. So yun. So that's been very big for me. Okay. So last two points about the fear of judgment is, especially if like you're a coach or if you're in a business wherein you're actually helping people. Can you imagine? Like ako, sige, I'm happy to know that I've actually helped a lot of people through what I do. No, so again, for me that's not yabang. Pero if you find it mayabang, issue niya yan. But I've been blessed to have helped a lot of people through what I do. And can you imagine that if I always give in to the fear of judgment, if I purposefully played small to stay in my own comfort zone, to feed the fear, can you imagine how much people I would not have helped? And that could be the same with you. If you're a coach, if you're helping people, if you give in to the fear of judgment, can you imagine all the people whom are left without help because we choose to play small and we don't think about them. Diba? We don't think about the people that we can help. Diba? So it's more than our purpose is bigger than us, definitely. But if we give into these little fears, which are legitimate fears, but when we give into them, paano na sila? Diba? And finally, and this is very interesting because I didn't even write this when I was doing the podcast episode before. But when I was writing it down, I was in the gym, and then dalawa kami. Then there was this guy in the treadmill, tapos singing very, very loudly. Tapos hindi ko marinig, as in to the point na hindi ko marinig yung podcast ko kasi kantang-kanta siya. I was thinking to myself na parang napaka-inconsiderate naman itong coops na to. But you know what I realized in that moment then? Na regardless of what I was thinking about him, I could feel that this person was enjoying himself. Diba? And can you think about that? Na parang, if you fear judgment, na parang you're not allowing yourself to do what makes you happy, whatever that is. Kasi isipin mo, parang isipin ng mga tao na whatever, kung naman judgment nila. Na parang isipin, hindi na magaling or anything. But here, in this case, yes, I was judging this person, but this person didn't care. He was just doing what made him happy. And at the end of everything, as we do yung Facebook ads for our business, for our clients, at the end, what we really want lang naman is to be happy. Diba? So the question is, are you going to let the fear of other people projecting their issues to you, are you going to let that get in the way of what makes you happy? So medyo humaba tong particular video na to, but I hope it helped not just with Facebook ads, but in anywhere else in your life you are fearing judgment. Because for me, it has talaga. And my hope is that it does for you then. All right. So thank you, and we'll hope to see you around. Okay.